take the opportunity to join, to influence and be influenced. So I'm going to take, without the opportunity now, to introduce Lucy Brogden, who's the Chair of the National Mental Health Commission. As I said, the bio, the impressive bio is on the website, and I invite you to go to the website. All I would like to say about Lucy is she has a powerful impact as a Chair of the Mental Health Commission, but she was having a powerful impact before. And I think everything she does, it impresses the people around, including myself, with her intelligence, compassion and wisdom. So could we all please welcome Lucy Brogden.
Thank you, Russell. Let's wait for the slides to magically appear. I'm sure they will. I would like to thank you all for showing such incredible interest. I understand the waiting list for this conference is nearly as large as the number of people attending, and so I think that's a real credit to the level of interest and activity that we see around this important topic. I'd like to, with others, acknowledge that as we gather today to share our knowledge and wisdom and build networks and learn more, that we are doing it on the lands of the Kulin people, and I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and particularly acknowledge the deep understanding that our First Nations people have when it comes to social and emotional wellbeing. I think really for those of us in mainstream there is so much that we can learn and should learn for the betterment of our society. We actually don't have a closing the gap target around mental health or suicide prevention, and yet we know that our average suicide rate our standard rate for suicide in this country sits stubbornly at around 13 per 100,000, but in some of our First Nations communities that goes up over 70 per 100,000. So there may not be formal gaps to fill, but there's certainly real social human gaps to address. I'd like to join Dave in acknowledging those of us in the room today with lived experience of mental illness, and particularly those like myself who love and care for someone on that journey. I hope that it's one that we can do together and feel that we are walking on a more solid path and road all the time. Today I've been asked to open the conference, and I'm very excited to be having the opportunity to do that, but I thought I'd also give you a quick rundown on the work of the Commission, particularly given that we've got our international guests here and the role that we play, and an update on some of the activities that we have. Later in the program agenda, my colleague from the Commission, Marcus Nicol, will be presenting an update in the context of the National Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Plan. Just quickly, because I know there's many familiar faces in the room, but the National Mental Health Commission was established in 2012. We are an executive agency within the health portfolio. Our CEO reports directly to the Minister for Health and takes advice from the commissioners. Currently we have 8 commissioners, but that's always a movable feast at the discretion of government, and we were pleased a couple of weeks ago to welcome our new CEO, Christine Morgan, who will be stepping into the chair when she gets back from overseas commitments later this month. And I'd just like to acknowledge Peggy Brown's here, a former CEO, and particularly the work that Maureen Lewis did in filling in that gap till Christine's arrived. The National Mental Health Commission has a few key responsibilities, primarily monitoring and reporting on mental health and suicide prevention systems across the country, and that's particularly focused on our annual national reports, our roles and responsibilities under the 5th plan, and then particular projects that we're tasked with. We have an ongoing role to provide advice to government in this space and to act as a catalyst for change, and I think it's really under that heading that the work around the Equally Well comes to life, and some of our previous work around things like seclusion and restraint really got their place on our agenda. We operate under what we call the Contributing Life Framework. We truly believe that all Australians should be thriving and not just surviving. And in the context of today, that all Australians should have access to effective support, care and treatment for both their physical health and their mental health. That we should all have something meaningful to do and something to look forward to. That we have connections to family, community safe, stable and secure. This time last week I was in Melbourne. I'm from Sydney, but I was in Melbourne speaking to the College of Mental Health Health Managers and Leaders at their leadership conference. And I confessed to them that, and many of you have heard this story, but much later in my professional life than I'm really pleased to admit, I realised that much more than just the knowledge, the skills, the ability to do a job, they're all great foundations, but what one really needs is a philosophy or a platform to guide and direct and help you frame the decisions and the direction you're taking. And my academic work sits in mood disorder and lawyers, and that's an interesting topic for another day. But in doing that work, I went to the history, and Russell's referred to history already today, and I came across the Justinian principles. 1500 years ago in Constantinople, the Emperor Justinian was trying to make sense of the religious codes, the constitutions across his vast empire, the great teachings of the philosophers. And he called together a colloquia like this and said, make sense of all of this for me. And they came up with a set of principles known today as the Justinian principles. And one of those key ones is this one, Salus Populi Suprema Lex, the well-being of the people is to be the highest law. And it really jumped off the page to me as such a simple guide in the work that we do. What a great test to apply. Am I enhancing, am I protecting, am I promoting the well-being of people, or am I actually doing some harm? And so I share that with you because I think it's a great phrase and a great philosophy, but as a great, just to give you some insight into the way that I try and frame the work that we do. So this isn't a new concept, as Russell said, its roots here in Australia go back around 20 years, but the equally well concept, we have to thank our colleagues from across the sea in New Zealand for the great work that they did, and truly this is from little things, big things grow. We really are seeing a movement take hold in this space, and I welcome the colleagues from New Zealand to the conference today, and kia kaha to you. You have been very close to our hearts and minds, and kia kaha. The great work in the equally well space that's been started in New Zealand is spreading out far and wide, but it truly has one simple premise, and that is that a person living with severe mental illness should have the same right to good physical health as anyone else. And you know, when I speak outside of the health sector, these things seem like such truisms that they can't believe in 2019. We have to make statements like this, but that is sadly the reality. The Australian model emerged in around 2017 with a launch in July. A lot of hard work went into coalescing the Australian interpretation of that, building the network to get that work started, and it's something that I think the National Mental Health Commission really puts up with pride, something of pride that we have been part of and helped to deliver on. We have advocated strongly for this for all the reasons that most of you know. The life expectancy is particularly shorter. The comorbid factors are there. They're backed up by evidence and data. And if you'll indulge me today, I said to Russell that I couldn't actually stay for the whole conference. Today is my husband's 50th birthday and our son's 13th birthday. And as a carer for someone that lives with mental illness, to get to any birthday is an achievement. You'll have to forgive the emotion, but to get to 50 is a really big milestone that there were times we thought we wouldn't get to. So I'm here for a while, but going back for big celebrations with the family. And those of you that heard me speak know I generally cry, so I no longer apologise for that. It's if we can't bring our humanity to the work that we do, then we really have nothing to offer. But it's much more than the personal and human costs. They sit at the top, but from a public policy perspective, the dollar costs around this issue are powerful and significant. We know that around mental illness contributes around 4% of our GDP, $70 billion, but in terms of severe persistent end of that mental illness spectrum, that's around $15 billion a year. And the thing that really, really frustrates me is that this is such preventable cost. If we got in early intervention, if we invested in prevention, think of the magic that could be achieved through that investment, and what else we could be doing to build our society and the well-being of our people. I want to take an opportunity to thank the EWIC group, the Equally Well Implementation Committee, affectionately known as EWIC, and particularly acknowledge Dave Peters, who is here, the co-chair, and Malcolm, who's not here, and all the members of the committee. It's a very diverse group of people that bring lived experience, clinical experience, academic skills and knowledge to really challenge this topic and work out how we implement it deeply and effectively in the communities. There are tools and websites if you haven't seen it, and one of the things that I think is really powerful is the ability to share the success stories, and there are a number, and we'll hear about them over the course of the conference and up on their website in the next few days. We know what the problem is, and I think often I find in our sector, in our space, we like to keep talking about the problem, quantifying the problem, identifying the problem, and this today and the next 2 days is a really exciting opportunity to move this all forward. The Equally Well consensus statement does call on us for better collaboration and better coordination across governments, professional bodies, community services, etc. We need that commitment to change, and I think that is there, the commitment to change, but it's a change of practice. And it's also a change in the culture and the way we think and do things and conceive of this particular issue. When I'm not a carer, I trained in organisational psychology, and I come to the phrase from Peter Drucker, who's a management and leadership guru, been around for a long time, everything old is new again, but he said culture eats strategy for breakfast. So we can have these beautiful documents, we can have a consensus statement that everybody puts their name to, but it's really for naught if in our minds and in our behaviours we are still doing old practice, old ways, and not embracing a new mindset and a new way to conceive of this particular issue. And when we speak to people about what it is every day on the ground that's stopping this, we hear comments back, well, that's not my job, that's not what I'm trained for. And I challenge that. I'm only a ... I'm just a ... And I can tell you, and I know there's a number of people in this room, and we've already shared our stories, nothing frustrates me more when we sit with one clinician who says, but that's my job is just X. And I'm looking at my husband, working hard on his recovery, but now high risk of diabetes and heart disease, to be told that that's someone else's problem. And again, it becomes a road to navigate and someone else's problem, and that becomes our problem, and we are the least well equipped to navigate sometimes. We need other people to embrace the whole person and the whole journey to help us on the way. So I think, I keep thinking of the well-being of the people being the highest law. I think the word of 2018 was collaboration. We heard it everywhere. We have to collaborate more. It's all through the fifth plan. PHNs and LHDs will collaborate. Governments will collaborate. It's a great word. Well, the first definition is great. The action of working with someone to produce something. The second interpretation, traitorous cooperation with an enemy. I think we can put to one side. But let's focus on the first one. And collaboration is great. And if we look at the concepts and where we've got to from collaboration, there's a model on the general theory of collaboration, of course there is, that starts at coordination. Elements of the system are arranged in a harmonious relationship. First step. Cooperation. Separate participants contribute to an aggregated whole. Another step. Collaboration. Participants have the rights to a shared pool of content that creates something new and unanticipated. And that's great. But it's still only getting it onto the paper, getting it onto the org chart to demonstrate something. And I think I came away at the end of last year, some of you were at the Suicide Prevention Summit in December in Canberra, completely frustrated by the word collaborate, because everyone had come to collaborate. And someone used another word, and I think this needs to be the word for 2019, integration. We've got to take that great collaborative thought pieces that we've produced and truly integrate it into the services, into community, and make it real. Because while it's a collaboration, it's still sitting to the side of a mainstream model, and we need to integrate it into everyday care and practice to put all those elements together. In October of last year, I was very proud and privileged to actually represent the Minister at the Global Ministerial Conference on Mental Health in London. Tried to explain it to my kids, it's like being picked for the Olympics for Australia, but in mental health policy. Not a terribly compelling argument to a 10-year-old. Wasn't that impressed. I was really chuffed, and to sit behind a badge that says Australia was pretty exciting. But that conference in October was about the Global Mental Health Commission and launching the Lancet Commission report on global mental health and sustainability. And it was a very powerful room of some very eminent people, including our own Helen Herman, but a range of leading academics, clinicians, and really powerfully a super strong group of lived experience from right across the world, sharing their journeys and collaborating and working together to produce this document. And one of the things that was particularly exciting in that, the outcome of that report, and if you haven't seen it, I commend it to you because, well, not the least it's free, but it's really good quality. There's some great data and analysis in there. But of the 6 key actions that they identified, and they took some time to explain that they'd chosen the word action over priority, because priorities can change, but actions need to be things that we do. And I thought that nuance of the language was particularly powerful. But number 1 was that mental health services should be scaled up as an essential component of universal health coverage, and physical health of people with severe mental disorders should be emphasised in such integrated care. This is the number 1 global action for mental health. And the governments in that forum all agreed to that as the number 1 action. There were further actions that were outlined in the report, but I just thought I would bring back to you that this is really a movement that is taking hold. And out of the Commission, there was a smaller forum of ministers and their representatives, and I was pleased to be able to speak on the Equally Well model. And the point that I tried to make, particularly for the developing countries, is most of us have very well developed physical health sectors. So why not leverage the other way and use that strength to help people with mental health issues? Rather than feeling like we have to build something else, we can start to build an integrated model from scratch in some of these countries, while we're also catching up and designing a more integrated model ourselves. But it was a very exciting opportunity to be a part of, and quite pleasing, I think, from our perspective in Australia to see that, well, we're all grappling with common issues, but the sense of direction that we're taking that says it's early intervention and prevention are particularly key in this jurisdiction. One of the charts that's in that report that I found very useful is that chart taking the social determinants of health and putting it in a mental health frame, identifying the proximal and distal factors that sit around that. One of the tensions that we have at the Commission and working with our Department of Health, and we have a very strong relationship with them, is that we do focus on the social determinants of health. It's a key framework for us to conceive of the work that we do. And you may be aware that we had, late last year now, a referral agreed to the Productivity Commission. And that took a long time. People often say to me, oh, that must be disappointing for you that the PC is looking at this. It's actually, quite frankly, we've been working on this for about the last 4 or 5 years to get this up. One of the challenges we had is that we kept insisting that the terms of reference must include social determinants of health. And our colleagues were less comfortable with that being included. And I understand that because the challenge we have is sitting in a health department. The levers they have are health related, but this really takes a whole of government, whole of governments and whole of government approach to really do the work that we're doing well. And I think that's particularly true when it comes to work like Equally Well it's more than just a health conversation that has to be had. We need to bring so many more people into the tent. So it is available on the Lancet Commission website. It's free, and they've got some other great frames that, if you're working in this space and want some great infographics on how to have this conversation, they're there for you. So if we come back to the work that we're all doing, an oldie but a goodie, do no harm, it is kind of what we're all charged to do, whether that's those that are trained in medicine, those that are nurses, those that come from different heritages and backgrounds. We have, the Japanese have the 17 rules of Enderlin. In Islamic countries and the Arab states, they have the Oath of Asfa. There's the Declaration of Geneva. There are a raft of oaths, of codes, of professional bodies that charge us essentially with doing no harm. And I think that's what we need to always be testing ourselves on, is that do no harm. We can have errors of commission, and I understand that that will happen. We can make mistakes. But really it's the errors of omission that we need to tackle when it comes to equally well. Looking at the whole person, what are we leaving out in their care? How can we look at the whole person in that care framework? One of the Commission's oldies but goodies is this person-centred, person-led model of care that we outlined in 2014, not our own conception, it's something that people have been advocating on for a long time. And again, when I speak outside of health, people can't believe that this is a new concept that we are working towards. And what's the newness in it, but you will appreciate this is a novel way of thinking. But I think what it shows in the context of equally well is that we all have a role to play. We need to be engaging with communities, with schools, with local government, with churches and social groups, housings, family therapy, police, primary care. Everybody is in the mix to deliver an equally well outcome for our people, and we need to work that into a systems change kind of model. And in terms of systems change, the thing that we need to recognise, and I see it happen all too often across a lot of the reform agendas that we are overseeing, is people like to take the low-hanging fruit or try and introduce the positive. But what we know from the evidence is that any kind of systems change, you actually need to reduce the negative first. And sometimes that is the hard conversation to often have. If we reduce the negative, it's that much easier to bring in the positive. We can do some of it simultaneously, but I think one of the challenges for the next couple of days is to really think on not so much the shiny fun stuff we can be bringing, but how do we tackle the hard stuff and reduce some of that negative. I'll finish up now and wish you all the best for the coming 2 days of learning, sharing, building networks, and really taking this to the next level, and good wishes to you all, but happy to take any questions if anyone's got them, if that's okay. Russell?
So we've got some time for questions now. We've got one of the volunteers here. We'll have roving mic. If anyone's got a question or want to raise a point, we've got a volunteer here. So if you raise your hand, the volunteer will come to you. I might start with the first question. Lisa, I'm really excited about you being our representative in the Policy Olympics. But tell us about the response when you're raising sort of equally well, and what sort of the response from the other countries in terms of that discussion that you raised on Australia's behalf.
So it was interesting because again I think it was a conversation of looking for shiny magic things. Ministers like to cut ribbons on things, and then we started to have this conversation, and the interest was very high, and I think it's pleasing to know that we've got colleagues, if they're not here yet, but coming from the UK, there's interest across Europe, certainly incredible interest in Africa around not just the mental health space, but how do they do some of this work, and the appetite particularly out of the lived experience community, to embrace this conversation and take it further was a lot of interest, and it would be interesting to actually track out links, but I know a number of them have been in touch to get more information, so I think really a lot of exciting potential.
Any other questions? Yes, thanks.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you for being here today, especially when you could be elsewhere. With the Royal Commission into Violence and Abuse and Neglect of People with Disabilities, will the Commission be putting in the submission around the mental health service treatment for people?
Yes, it's our intention to be making the submission, absolutely. We've made submissions to a number of inquiries and royal commissions, and we think that's an important part of the work that we do, is making those submissions and doing some consultation prior to writing the submissions. But when we get to that stage, perhaps Catherine Brown and I can come back to you with the process for if you've got something that you'd like to contribute.
Thank you.
Anyone else? You've actually wowed everybody. I think, getting most contagious. In terms of the policy Olympics, I think Lucy has won a gold medal for us, and on behalf of us, and I think there's nothing more to say that reiterate my earlier statement. So I'm just continually in awe of your insight, your intelligence, the impact that you're having, and your compassion, and it's such an asset. So on behalf of everyone, I'd like to thank you for being here on this special day for us and you.